council meeting for April 28th, 2026. Can I have a roll call, please?
Scott? Here. Mallory?
Here.
Sabrina?
Here.
Darling?
Here.
Edwin?
Here.
Martin?
Here.
Ormsby?
Here. Okay, please stand and join me for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and open the public comment for agenda items only. So if you have a comment for an agenda item, please stand, state your name, and you have 3 minutes.
Louis Allen's on the tree trimming.
Okay.
I want to say that you guys need to do some tree trimming on Eastern Avenue. Been at ideas for decades on that, from the not gravel portion, south to Vanier. In fact, there's one tree that's 66 feet right away that is on one of our houses. So we got a nasty brand from your block, your community development person, and that tree is city tree. 66 feet is city, according to the charter, 66 feet from the roadway is your tree on our house. If we were to cut that tree down, we'd be in deep trouble. So, that's your tree. So, as you dare say, you guys need to get Eastern Avenue all the way to Vanier done, and Eastern to Lafayette on Lincoln. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments for agenda items? Okay, I'll close this portion of public comments. We have our agenda, receive and file all communications.
Make a motion to approve the agenda and receive and file all communications.
Okay. I have a motion by Councilman Martin, second by Councilwoman Dodd, to approve the agenda and receive and file all communications. Does anyone want to add anything to that? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. We have number 6 on our list. Approval of prior meeting minutes from April 16th, 2026.
I'll make the motion to approve the prior meeting minutes of April 16, 2026.
Thank you. I have a motion by Councilman Martin, second by Councilman Brando, to approve the rescheduled regular council meeting minutes of April 16th, 2026 as presented. Does anybody have any comments on those? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Okay, thank you. Motion passed. We now have a public hearing. This is a rezone request. So I'll open this public hearing. I'll just go ahead and read this here. The amendment of Chapter 154 zoning ordinance, Section 4.02, map for the proposed rezoning of 12 parcels listed below. 11 of the parcels are currently zoned general business B3, and 1 parcel is currently zoned light industrial I1. The request is to rezone all 12 parcels to local business B1. So I'll open the public hearing. If you have any comments on this, you can stand, state your name, and you'll have 3 minutes. Okay. I'll close this public hearing then. And we will move on. We have a consideration of resolution 2026-10 to adopt a parental leave policy for the city.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that. Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Darling, second by Councilman Martin to approve Resolution 2026-10, a resolution to adopt a parental leave policy. You want to explain that? That's basically following FMLA. correct?
Well, it is, but we'll give the employee, after they take 2 weeks of their ETO, we'll give them 2 weeks paid, and then it resorts to family and medical leave from that point on.
That pick 2 weeks paid out of their annual leave or their whatever you call
They
it.
take ETO, which is paid,
Right.
and then we give them, as a city, 2 weeks
Okay.
for maternity leave,
Gotcha.
paternity leave, whatever it may be. And then after that point, then they would be able to use family and medical leave, or they could use the rest of their ETO.
Yeah. Okay.
And it would be both paternal and maternal.
Correct.
Anyone else, any questions on that?
And I kind of surveyed what people had, and they range from 0 to 4 weeks of pay. Some even were higher. So I kind of took middle of the ground because we had nothing. I don't think it was really, we still only had maternal leave. We're going to fix this, and hopefully that solves the problem for now. And then also, I will incorporate this into, I'll mention later on, working on the personnel policy.
Any comments? Okay. Can I have a roll call on that, please?
Brandon,
Yes.
Mallory,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Darling,
Yes.
Ormski,
Yes.
Edwin,
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. We have consideration of rezoning, which we discussed in the public hearing just a few minutes ago. This is to approve the amendment of Chapter 154 zoning ordinance, Section 4.02, map to rezone the following proposed parcels to local business B1.
I will make that motion to approve the amendment of chapter 154 zoning ordinance, section 4.02, map to rezone the following proposed parcels to local business.
Second. Second. Thank you. Okay. I have a motion by Councilman Martin, second by Councilman Bedwin, to approve the amendment of Chapter 154 as stated. I'm just going to go ahead and read the parcels off here. We have 437 South Main, 502 South Main, 458 South Main, 444 South Main, 430 South Main, 402, 406, all South Main, and then also is 219 and 229 Court Street. So basically that's from the warehouse, oh, you guys have a picture of it, yeah. So it goes up Court Street, just a couple houses, and then all the Main Street there that you see.
I have a question.
Sure.
What is the reason for this?
As we move forward with potential developers or with whoever ends up taking that property, we're making it B1, so it matches up with the downtown district and carries through all the way up to pretty much the Lincoln Street Bridge. So it'll allow for redevelopment of that property.
Any other questions on that? No concerns?
Did the homeowners have they all been alerted?
Everybody received the notice.
Well, they're not homeowners.
I think there's only one homeowner, 219 Chris Otto.
Yeah, and that's even a B and B.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah,
So yeah, it's all mainly businesses in that whole area.
sure, yeah. Okay. All right, roll call then, please.
Doug,
Yes.
Mallory,
Yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
Darling,
Yes.
Edwin,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Ormski.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. We have 9B, which is consideration to approve the special use application for a tattoo parlor located at 202 East State Street, Unit A. Make
that motion to approve the special use application for attached parcel located at 202 East State Street, Unit A.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Councilman Martin, second by Councilwoman Darling, as stated there. So this is basically the same thing we experienced.
Yes, and the planning commission did recommend for approval for this last night. This individual opened up the tattoo parlor, wasn't aware that he required a business license, which also ultimately made him go through site plan review. He was very apologetic about it, and so.
Okay. Any other comments on this? Okay. Roll call, please.
Mallory,
Yes.
Randall,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Ormski,
Yes.
Edwin,
Yes.
Darling,
Yes.
Dunn.
Yes.
Okay, last, for general business, we have consideration of proposal for emergency tree cutting and trimming services.
I'll make the motion to allow the city manager, to allow the city manager to award bids for RFP 2026-02, emergency tree cutting and trimming services to be presented. List of contractors.
Does anyone want to second this motion?
I'll second.
Okay. All right, I have a motion by Councilman Martin, second by Councilman Brando, to allow the city manager to award bids as stated. Now, I didn't see anything in the packet. You want to
Should be on your desk.
Okay.
One page, looks like this.
This one, mine?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you see that.
So I have some questions, may I?
Let me, got it.
So last time we met, there were some other companies, and they're not on this list.
These are the group, like a couple of the contractors didn't bid on this round.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the ones that we selected and awarded, and I also went away from some of the ones we already gave contracts to, if they have a lot. Because again, we have a deadline by the end of June that these trees come down, and there's going to be round 3 that will be coming out at your next council meeting.
Okay.
So I'm trying to spread it out as many companies as possible, so that we can get that done before that deadline.
The reason there's a deadline is because we're getting,
We got $325,000 grant, reimbursement, I should say, not a grant, reimbursement from FEMA
right.
to take down these damaged trees that pose a health and safety hazard to the roadways, parks, things like that.
And these are trees that are only in the right of way.
Correct. These are trees that we own.
Right. Okay.
I know there's some people that are upset that they're in their yard or whatever and that we're taking them down, but they're the city's trees, and Don Daly, who's our fire chief, went out and assessed everyone himself and determined if he thought it was a threat and a hazard, and if it was put on the list.
To fall on cars or,
Cars, roads, whatever,
Lines.
people, yes.
okay.
Is that what these pictures are?
That's of a particular property where I know the person called and had some concerns. I just wanted to let you know what that's Bacchus, I believe, to let you know what the trees look like, so you have them in front of you.
Okay. So that's the back. That's on this round, though, right?
It's on the one we already awarded, it's not on the one we're doing now.
That's previous, okay.
And they, is this one where the contractor showed up and left?
We asked them to leave until that I had it, brought to your attention so that you were aware of it, but they'll be back soon to get on it, because I wanted to double check it myself. So those pictures were taken today of the trees, and I double checked and looked at it, and I agree with Don that they need to go down, so.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, they're all snapped.
Yeah. And then if you look, they're even rotted in some sections.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw them out there a little bit today.
Okay.
Were there some that they were just trimming also?
There was a few on the last list that were trimmed. To be honest with you, we have more than enough to take down and not mess with trimming right now.
Right.
We can always come back to the trimming with our employees and our chipper later in the year.
Any other questions?
So there's around 3, I mentioned that, right?
Yep.
I think there's, I'd say maybe another 50, 60 houses on that one. I think it just went out in bid yesterday, I think.
Okay. I guess, roll call then, please.
Brandon,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Edwin,
Yes.
Ormski,
Yes.
Darling,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Mallory.
Yes.
Circle.
Yeah, we did.
I know what I did, and then
You seconded it.
I seconded it.
Okay.
that you're presenting a list of contractors.
Yeah. Yeah, circle is out there, so you want to say.
Voting on
Yes.
Circle one.
this.
Right.
Circle.
Guys, I'm sorry about this, I just got done today, going through all the bids and putting them on a list and everything else. So otherwise I would get, and then the same thing's gonna happen the next, they're gonna come in on Monday and Tuesday, I have to have you a list, so I apologize for that.
Okay, thank you. I'll have you continue with your city manager's report today.
First, I want to address a statement. Mr. Valance made an incorrect statement. The tree is actually on his property. We do not own it. There is, I don't know if it's in the charter or not, but all our roads are 66-foot right-of-way. It's not 66 foot from the line and edge of the road, as he stated. Either that or we would also own his house, and I don't think we want to do that. So, just so you know that that was an error and was not a correct statement.
So it's 66 feet from the center line?
It's a 66 foot right, no, it would be whatever it is. That center line could be anywhere in that 66 feet.
Okay.
So the center line could be here, sometimes it's off a little side, sometimes there's one more on, but yeah, we don't own that tree. It's clearly on Louis' property, so, well, his mother's, I should say. All right, the chamber, I've been working with the chamber on a lease since December. I think I got the final draft. We're gonna have a 5-year lease with them. That lease was before $1 a year. Now, the lease amount is $600 a month, so they're gonna send about $7,200 a year. I changed that so that we cover some of our costs associated with that building and making repairs before it was costing us money to have the chamber there. So that took a little while and I worked it out. I did work with their attorney at the end to get it finalized. I will be signing it soon, just so you're aware of that. The Horowitz case, Monday, the judge ruled, had a summary disposition on all accounts, which means the case will be dismissed with prejudice. Prejudice means that they cannot file a suit on the same thing again. Can he appeal it? Yes. So that one's decided, and then also the one where he appealed the Board of Zoning Appeals decision is, I think he's got a deadline of 21 days to file some sort of brief, and I don't know if he's done that or not. If he doesn't, then that one will be dismissed. So, State Land Bank grant, we talked about this before. The city's in line with the county and NEMCOG to get a $100,000 grant to deal with some blighted properties in the city. County needs to create a land bank, which then will become part of a regional land bank that will be housed at NEMCOG. I know the county commissioners and Sharon Lang with the county are working on getting that done so that we can get that money, and Chris can start working with them to address a few blighted properties here in town. Today, I had a meeting with the union on their, the police union on their contract. It lasts about 20 minutes. I think that's my average. And I believe we came to agreement on most issues. We need to do some research on a couple topics. I just got to meet, they asked me a couple questions, and I'm not sure the details of it. And Adam, I actually like to spend a little time with you and ask you a couple questions. You might be able to help me on that. But yeah, we got that hopefully done. It'll be a 3-year contract, and I'll go present details and bring it to you here. And hopefully, I would like to do that by next meeting, just to get it out of the way. Employee handbook I mentioned earlier. Those are, I think Brett was the only one on council at that time. I started working on this, and then if you remember, I got sick, and I worked on it and got a draft done, but I'll be honest with you, I haven't really touched it much since then. Then this paternal policy came about, and so I took care of that. But so for the last about week and a half, I've been working on our employee handbook. I'm hoping to have a draft, like really tightened up, the final draft on it soon. Adam, I do have a couple other questions I gotta ask you, since you are kind of our resident labor expert. But I'm hoping to have something to council here in the next month or so we can get that. Ken Dudkowski, when he was on council, before that, Ken was the treasurer and clerk. Ken made a statement at a council meeting, if you remember this. Ken said when he was hired, that was his #1 job to get that done, they told him, and when he retired, it was still his #1 job to get that done. Okay? When you interviewed me, Brett, I believe that was one of the questions you asked me about getting a personnel policy together, and I'm going to get that done. #2, department evaluations. I did do all the department head evaluations. Some department heads who have been with us 40 years have been evaluated once or twice in 40 years. So I do have department head evaluations done, and I will be meeting with each department head to discuss. Actually, I already met with Alyssa today to discuss hers. So that'll be done here, probably hopefully by the end of the week. The zoning ordinance, I got a meeting tomorrow with NEMCOG. Kind of took a break with the dam situation and everything else that was going on, and we're going to get back at it tomorrow and hopefully finalize any of the major changes, and then I'll have a full document to read cover to cover. So that'll probably require me to be locked in my office a few days to do it. I addressed the trees on Bacchus to you. Mayor, you asked me about the Little Black River Dam. I want to say this here, that council took a proactive approach a number of years, I'd say almost 3 years ago, Brett?
It was November 22.
Okay.
And we said, we don't know who owns that dam, but if it fails, the water ends up here.
Correct. So council spent a 30 or 35,000, I think, and then Councilman Ordensby helped me secure another 10 or 15 from the Soil and Conservation District. Was it 25? Okay. And then we fixed it. I got pictures that were sent to me of that. It held. It still looks like it was just put in there yesterday. There is some damage to the cage. There's like a metal cage that's probably, I'd say 8 foot, maybe 10 foot by 10 foot. It's like a cube that protects from logs getting in there. The pressure on that was so great on the top, there must have been a log or something on downwards. It bent down, solid steel bar, it bent it down about that far to show you how much pressure was on it. So we're gonna have to look at that cage and possibly see what we have to do to either bend it back, reinforcement, cut it, re-weld it, something. Good news is, and then sometimes there's bad things come out of bad things come good things. I spent a lot of time with county commissioners, the county administrator, our county drainage commissioner, Willie, and I think we all come to the conclusion we got to do something. So we're going to have a meeting coming up to start figuring out, okay, what's the long-term solution to this issue? And it may be a drainage district or something of the sort, so that we can, everybody can pay into it that benefits from it in order to preserve it. So hopefully that'll be coming soon. On the